Do you ever wonder that, when you're shortlisting universities and you're looking at a specific university and it seems fine to you, and then you're thinking like, okay, if I go to that university, if I graduate from that university, will I get a job after I graduate? What kind of places will I be able to work in after I graduate? How much money will I make and all that? So if you're ever wondering, those things, there's actually a pretty simple way that you can find out, how much the graduates from those universities, how much money they make, what kind of companies they work at, and all this kind of stuff, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you guys this cool trick that you guys can use, and you can apply to, I think nearly every university will have this. So you can apply this trick to nearly every university that you're thinking of shortlisting and thinking of applying to figure out what kind of companies that, their graduates have gotten into, how much money their graduates make, how many students get these jobs and all that. Okay, so let me show you guys exactly how you can do this. So let's get started. Okay, so what you're looking for is called the Career Outcomes or Graduate Student Outcomes document. Okay, so this document will state, all the companies and median salaries and all that. So how you guys find this? Essentially, you Google the name of your university and then space Graduate Student Outcomes, or just Graduate Outcomes is enough, right? And for Penn, we're going to do this for Penn first because Penn is like the easiest one that you can do this for. So you search the name and the space for Graduate Student Outcomes, and the first link, literally the first link says Postgraduate Outcomes. You click on that, and you can see that they have the postgraduate outcomes, and then they have split it for undergraduate and graduate. Not a lot of schools do this, so this is actually is really useful for us. So let's check out graduate postgraduate outcomes, right? So we're looking for grad school, as in master's, PhD, all these guys. Okay, so let's check out the School of Engineering and Applied Science Masters for their 2020 batch. So that actually opens up this PDF. It says School of Engineering and Applied Science Master's Degree Candidates, 2020 Career Plan Survey Report. So, you can go down, you can explore this on your own time if you guys need to, especially if you guys are applying to Penn. But it tells you, okay, like 75% chose to, out of 500 responses that they got, 75% chose to go for full-time employment, 13% went for continuing education, probably an MBA or PhD, and then 8% is seeking employment, and 1.6% seeking continuing education, so on. Right? And you can see how the full-time, offer, how the job offer source was, You can also see the date of when the offer was made. So you can see that, generally students tend to graduate around May if you're in a fall intake. And you can see it, I would say around 90% of students, landed their jobs, before they graduated, right? So that's going to be a pretty big number. Now, full-time employment, they have employment by industry. So most people went into tech, software job function. They have also software development, engineering, data analytics, and so on, right? And you can also check out by state. So you can see that a lot of people went into Penn State, a lot of people went into New York State, a ton of people went into California, and then a few people, I think this is Washington, I'm not sure. But anyway, then we have all the companies that hire international students. So this is actually super useful that Penn does that not a lot of other universities do. So they've talked about the US employers of foreign nationals. So you can see that all these companies hire foreign nationals. That means international students once they graduate. Okay, and we also have salaries by industry. So you can see how much the aerospace industry makes, how much the computer products, hardware guys make, how much the engineering guys make, and you can see the full range, right? So generally the lower range will be like maybe teaching positions or assistantship positions or something like that. Research, like small research, like university-based research positions. And the bigger ones will be like, these big tech companies and all that, or maybe R&D labs and all that, right? And then we have salaries by job function, positions by program. So if I go into, say, robotics and stuff, you can see all the different companies that hire for robotics, right? So essentially, this is what you're looking for. The document is called, it can vary across, but usually it's called, post-graduation outcomes, called graduate outcomes and stuff, right? Now let's look at the example for one more university. Before we move on, I just want to pause and remind you guys to subscribe to the channel because we have a ton of graduate program related information coming out every single week. So make sure you're subscribed. Next, let's try this for the University of Michigan, right? So here what I've done is instead of graduate outcomes, I've changed it to career outcomes. So you can use either word. It depends on the university how they like to call it, right? So here you can see that they have the career outcomes for this. This is the School of Information at the University of Michigan. So we're not looking for a particular school. We're looking for like everything, right? So here's this, career center at the University of Michigan. So this is probably going to be a better link for us to click on. So here we have the University of Michigan's Career Center website. So they have something called a first destination profile. So here they seem to have like all this employing and continuing education. 89% of people were employed after they graduated, but nothing specific about master's degrees or graduate students, right? We're looking for graduate students and we're looking for our own department, right? So this is probably not going to be useful for us. But anyway, the Career Center is probably going to have all this information, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, okay, for PhD and masters, I'm looking for specifically for master's students. So let's check that out. Okay, and they have all the different schools here. So I'm going to check out the College of Engineering because I feel that is, that's what I'm searching for, right? So, okay, welcome to the career engineering for, career resource center, all right? So they have student resources. Okay, so I'm a student, so I want to check out the student resources. How we can help you prepare for success. All right, career guide, salary information in our annual report. Okay, this is very interesting. Check out the annual reports for salary information. And now we have, okay, 2018 to 2019. This is going to be pretty good. All right, so at Michigan, it looks like it's called the annual salary report, right? So let's just go down and try to see what we're looking for. So they have internships, bachelor's data, master's data, doctoral data, and top hiring companies. So I think we're looking for master's data, right? This is page 7. So let me just skip ahead to page 7. Oh, this is bachelor's data again. So bachelor's data, here we go, master's data. So here's master's data. All right, rated top in the nation. Okay, master's graduates. So this is, graduates of each degree. So aerospace engineering, environmental engineering, like how many degrees, how many graduates there were. And average base salary for engineering master's graduates. Right? Then we have postgraduate plans, 63% went into employment, 30% went into continuing education, and so on. Now we have salaries by major. So you pick any particular major and you can see that, the average salary, you can see the median salary and the range of salaries as well, right? And salaries by region as well. So if you are, depends on which region of the US you're in, right? So southern region, west region, midwest region, and northeast region. So west is obviously, the California type of region. So that's why obviously the money is going to be there. The southern region, probably the southern states in the US. So then northeast, which is of course like New York, Penn and stuff, or Pennsylvania and stuff, is going to be northeast region. So you can see northeast and west, east coast and west coast tends to be, where the money is, right? Then we have, of course, they have by state as well. So nearly 200 people went into the state of Michigan. Then fewer people went into the state of California, Washington, Illinois, Massachusetts, Texas, and then other locations, right? So then we have salary by sector as well, depending on which sector you guys are joining. And this is for doctoral data, right? So this is their annual salary report, which is also called, like the career outcomes kind of report, right? So what you guys need to do is search for this report for your particular university to figure out how much your graduates make. And then that way you can sort of compare universities and pick whichever university you want to get into. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comment below and I'll try to help you guys out. Make sure you subscribe for more graduate program related content and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.